Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the fifth lesson of our course, Learn Arabic with Zainab Jaafar. Before we start our lesson for today, let's have a review of lesson number 4. In lesson number 4, we had 4 letters in details. They were Ra, Zay, Waw, and Ya. We explained the demonstrative pronoun that and said that in Arabic there are 2 words for that, one for masculine and the other one for feminine. The commonly used masculine word is dalika and the less used one is daka, while the feminine word of that is tilka. So when we want to say that is a boy, we say dalika waladun or daka waladun. And for saying that is a girl, we say tilka bintun. The second point we had in the grammar zone was the conjunction article and, or in Arabic, wa. When connected to words, we simply add wa before the second one and say, for example, Ahmed wa Muhammad. And when we want to list a group of words, we add wa before each next word and say, for example, Ahmed wa Muhammad wa Ali. This is a quick review of lesson number 4. Please check the link in the description for the complete lesson. Now let's start our lesson for today. In this lesson we will learn 4 new letters which are ha, ha, ta, and its variation ta al-marbuta, and ta. In the grammar zone we will have the first part of gender and we will learn the use of adjectives in relation to gender. So let's start. Bismillah. Our first letter for today is ha. Ha is the 26th letter in the Arabic alphabet. Ha is found with I, and as I mentioned in lesson number 1, after typing the ha letter, we need to press Shift and J to get the extension which will give the ha its shape in case we want to type it in isolation. In an Apple keypad, ha is found in the first row, and in an Android it is found in the same position. As far as the pronunciation of ha, it is similar to the ha of hat. With the harakat, it becomes ha, hu, he, and with long vowels, ha, hu, he. Examples of ha with the harakat: haram, haram, hudhud, hudhud, hir, hir, qahwa, qahwa. With long vowels, hatif, hatif, zuhur, zuhur, shaheed, shaheed. And as far as the positions of ha, in the initial one, hadiya, hadiya. In the medial one, nahr, nahr. And the final ha, shifah, shifah. Please notice the change of the shape of ha in the 3 positions. Our second letter for today is ha. Ha is the 6th letter in the Arabic alphabet. In a keyboard it is found with P. In an Apple it is found in the first row, and in an Android it is in the same position. Ha has no equivalent in English pronunciation, so we need to check its place of articulation in the diagram in order to know how to pronounce it. The place of articulation of ha is pharyngeal, which means it is articulated with the tongue root against the back of the throat. Examples of ha with the harakat: halib, halib, hub, hub, hisan, hisan, sahra, sahra. With the long vowels: ha'id, ha'id, hoot, hoot, muhit, muhit. And the initial one, himar, himar. And the medial one, sahm, sahm. And the final ha, jurh, jurh. You can notice that the ha changes in the initial and medial position while it has its own default shape in the final position. Our third letter for today is ta. It is the 3rd letter also in the Arabic alphabet. Ta is found with J. In an Apple keypad it is found in the 2nd row, and it has the same position in an Android. Ta is similar to the ta of tea. It is simply called ta, and to distinguish it from its variant, it is called التاء المفتوحة. al-maftuha or maftuha is a feminine adjective, means opened, which means it is called opened ta. Now why it is called open ta, that I will clarify later. Examples of ta with the harakat: tamr, tamr, tufah, tufah, timsah, timsah, sitra, sitra. With long vowels: taj, taj, toot, toot, teen, teen. And the positions of ta: in the initial one, timthal, timthal. In the medial one, fustuq, fustuq. And the final ta, zayt, zayt. Notice the change in the shape of ta in the initial and medial positions. Ta has a variant letter which is called at-ta'ul marbuta. Marbuta is a feminine adjective, means tied. At-ta'ul marbuta means the tied ta. Now why it is called marbuta? You can simply imagine tying the two ends of the ta al-maftuha, the opened ta. What we get is a tied ta, ta al-marbuta. It is clear now why the first ta is called ta al-maftuha, simply because its two ends are not tied. In a keyboard, ta al-marbuta is found with M. In an Apple keypad, it is found in the second row, and in an Android, it is found in the third row. Before we talk about the pronunciation of ta al-marbuta, first of all we need to remember that a ta al-marbuta only comes at the end of words. It has the same shape of the final ha with two dots over it. As far as the pronunciation of ta al-marbuta, it has two pronunciations. One is the default sound ta, which is pronounced in a continuous speech or reading. The other pronunciation is ha, and this is pronounced when we stop at the word which ends with ta al-marbuta. Let's have some examples to clarify this point. As we mentioned before, ta al-marbuta comes only in the final position, but its shape changes according to whether it is connected with the letter preceding it or not. The first example we have is baqara. The next one is salla. You can see the difference in the shape of ta al-marbuta when it is connected or not with the letter preceding it. Now how to pronounce the ta with both sounds, t and he. When we say these words in isolation, we pronounce their ta al-marbuta as ha. So we say baqara, baqara, and salla, salla, regardless to the harakat which are found over the ta al-marbuta. If you remember, I told you before that we don't pronounce the last haraka of a word when we stop at it or read it in isolation. Now when we connect these words with others, we pronounce the ta al-marbuta as t, and of course we pronounce the harakat which are found over it. For example, to say a fat cow, we say baqaratun samina, baqaratun samina. And to say a new basket, we say sallatun jadida, sallatun jadida. Notice the difference in pronunciation. When it comes in isolation, it is baqara and salla. When it is connected to another word, baqaratun samina, sallatun jadida. Our last letter for today is ta. Ta is the 16th letter in the Arabic alphabet. Ta is found with the quotation mark. In an Apple keypad, it is found in the third row, and in an Android, it is found in the second row. Ta has no equivalent in English pronunciation, so again we need to check its place of articulation in the diagram. Ta is made by placing the tip of the tongue on the gums surrounding the lower two front teeth. The difference between ta and ta is that ta is made by pressing the end tip of the tongue on the gums, while ta is made with a position of the tongue which is below that space. When making it, there is a little space left in between the tip of the tongue and the plates of the teeth. Now try please to pronounce it. Ta, ta. And notice the difference with ta, 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 ta. With the harakat, ta is pronounced as ta, tu, ti. And with long vowels, ta, طي. Now examples with حركات: طبيب طبيب، تحلب تحلب، طفل طفل، قطرة قطرة. With long vowels: قطار قطار، عطور عطور، يقطين يقطين. And the positions of طاء: in the initial position طائرة طائرة, in the medial one مطر مطر, and the final طاء مشت مشت. Now let's review some keywords. This is exercise number 1. Match the following keywords with their pictures. Please leave your answers in the comment or in the group. Now let's move to the grammar zone. Our first grammar point for today will be about gender. Nouns in Arabic are characterized by 3 points: gender, definition, and number. So each noun is either masculine or feminine, definite or indefinite, and can be singular, dual, or plural. Notice that in addition to the singular and plural numbers found in English, Arabic also has dual number. In lesson number 2, we talked about how to make a noun definite by adding al-ta'rif. Today we'll talk about the gender of nouns, and the number will be left for future classes. In Arabic, masculine is usually the default of words, and from it, feminine words are derived. However, there are exceptions. Some pairs have special words for each gender, like رجل و امرأة, ولد و بنت, أسد و لبوة. Some words have only masculine form, like كتاب و قمر, and others have only feminine form, like سلة و شمس, and many others. Now let's have the feminine gender in details. Feminine words are characterized by one of 3 endings. The first one is التاء المربوطة. Examples: معلمة, حياة. However, there are some words which are ended by تاء المربوطة but are masculine words, like حمزة, أسامة. The second feminine ending is الألف الممدودة, which consists of alif and hamza. Examples of it are حمراء, صحراء. It also have exceptions like إناء, صفاء. The third mark of the feminine word is الألف المقصورة. Examples of it are عطشة, ذكرى. And here too there are exceptions like مصطفى, جرحى. Please notice that only the first row examples of the feminine words are derived from masculine ones. The rest are unique feminine words with no masculine. In this level, we will cover only the first and second types of feminine words in details and leave the third one for an advanced level. As for today, we'll talk about feminine with تاء المربوطة. The next class will be inshallah about الألف الممدودة. Feminine with تاء التأنيث المربوطة. التاء المربوطة is called تاء التأنيث. التأنيث means femininity, since it is used to change the gender from masculine to feminine. I like you now to remember these 2 words: مذكر or المذكر, the masculine, و المؤنث, the feminine. مذكر ومؤنث, المذكر والمؤنث. Now let's see how to derive a feminine word from masculine by adding تاء التأنيث المربوطة. Deriving feminine nouns from masculine ones by adding تاء التأنيث المربوطة is too simple. It is only done by adding تاء التأنيث المربوطة at the end of the masculine word. For example, طفل plus تاء التأنيث المربوطة becomes طفلة, طفلة, طفل, طفلة. There are only 2 important nouns to consider in this concern. First, when a masculine word ends with ya, the ya will be doubled, which means we add shadda over it before adding a تاء المربوطة. An example of it: صبي. صبي with the addition of تاء التأنيث المربوطة becomes صبية. Notice the shadda over the ya. صبية. The second note is that when making a feminine word from a masculine one consisting of 2 words, تاء التأنيث المربوطة is added to the first word. For example, ساعي بريد. With the addition of ta, it becomes ساعية بريد. So we add the ta to the first word, ساعية بريد. Now let's have more examples. Arabic jobs are very good examples of feminine with ta al-marbuta because all feminine jobs are derived from masculine ones by adding ta al-tanith al-marbuta. I will mention here some examples to practice and leave you another group at the end of the lesson. طبيب طبيبة ممرض ممرضة محامي محامية معلم معلمة طالب طالبة مهندس مهندسة شرطي شرطية سائق سائقة كاتب كاتبة. Now let's practice. هذا معلم هذه معلمة هذا طبيب هذه طبيبة هذا ممثل وهذه ممثلة هذا مهندس وهذه مهندسة. Now your turn. This is exercise number 2. Try to fill in the blanks. هذا محامي هذه هذا رسامة شاعر وهذه طباخ و. Now let's move to the next step in the grammar zone, which is the use of adjectives in Arabic. In Arabic, adjectives follow the nouns they describe in gender, definition, and number. So an adjective like har can have several forms. As far as gender is concerned, it can be masculine, which is the default word, har, or feminine, harra. The next thing about making feminine adjectives is that all the adjectives become feminine by adding ta al-ta'nith marbuta. So, har, harra. The second thing that an adjective accepts is definition. So by adding al-ta'rif to the indefinite har, it becomes al-har, al-har. The third thing that adjectives accept is number, and this is what we won't consider until explaining the number of nouns in Arabic. Today we're going only to speak about gender of adjectives and leave the rest for next classes. Now let's see how to use adjectives in Arabic. In English, when we want to describe a noun, we simply add the adjective before the noun and say, for example, hot milk. In Arabic, the opposite happens. So we add the adjective after the noun, and that's why the adjective follows the noun it describes in all its characteristics, gender, definition, and number. Now our example noun is halib. Halib is masculine, indefinite, and singular. Our adjective is har. Har is also masculine, indefinite, and singular. So our phrase will be halibun har. Let's have another example. Shams. Shams is feminine, indefinite, and singular. Now we have to change our adjective har into feminine. Har becomes harra. So we have shamsun harra. Shamsun harra. Now let's practice with more examples. مهندس ناجح مهندسة ناجحة هذا مهندس ناجح وهذه مهندسة ناجحة هذا وجه سعيد وهذا وجه حزين هذا قارب كبير وهذا قارب صغير هذه امرأة جميلة وهذه امرأة قبيحة هذا ولد قصير وهذا ولد طويل هذه بنت نحيفة وهذه بنت بدينة هذا باب مغلق وهذا باب مفتوح. Examples from Quran. In the first verse we have Rasulun Kareem, a generous prophet. Both Rasul and Kareem are masculine, indefinite, and singular. Rasulun Kareem. In the second verse we have Duriyatan Tayyiba, a good offspring. Both Duriya and Tayyiba are feminine, indefinite, and singular. Duriyatan Tayyiba. Now your turn. Make use of the keywords and adjectives found at the end of this video whenever needed. Exercise number 3, fill in the blanks. Number 1, ولد قصير. بنت. 2, بنت بدينة. ولد. Number 3, شاعر مشهور. What about a feminine one? Number 4, حصان سريع. هرة. By the way, هرة is the feminine of her. Number 5, ما هذا? هذا قميص. Number 6, ما هذه? هذه. Exercise 4, find the noun and its adjective and show their gender. You have only 2 verses, try to do them. Before we end our lesson for today, let's repeat the keywords. قهوة, هدية, هرة, صحراء, سترة, بقرة, سلة, قطرة, طائرة, هرم, هدهد, هر, هاتف, حليب, حب, حصان, حائط, حوت, حمار, جرح, تمر, تفاح, تمساح, تاج, توت, تين, تمثال, طبيب, تحلب, طفل. These are the groups of jobs that you can make use while practicing. I'm going only to read the Arabic ones. قاضي, قاضية. رئيس, رئيسة. وزير, وزيرة. مؤلف, مؤلفة. صحفي, صحفية. مصور, مصورة. مترجم, مترجمة. محاسب, محاسبة. مغني, مغنية. نجار, نجارة. تاجر, تاجرة. عامل, عاملة. مدرس, مدرسة. Please notice that مدرس and معلم both are teacher, but here معلم is said for primary school teachers and مدرس is the one who teaches in the intermediate and secondary schools. أستاذ, أستاذة. تلميذ, تلميذة. طالب, طالبة. مهرج, مهرجة. مدير, مديرة. These are the groups of adjectives. جديد, قديم. جميل, قبيح. ذكي, غبي. جيد, سيء. ماهر, كسول. مشهور, بسيط. غني, فقير. سريع, بطيء. قوي, ضعيف. حقيقي, مزيف. كثير, قليل. مهذب, فظ. ثقيل, خفيف. رطب, جاف. دافئ, بارد. شبعان, جوعان. واسع, ضيق. ممتع, ممل. منخفض, مرتفع. غالي, رخيص. This is everything for today. Inshallah, in lesson number 6, we will talk about part 2 of gender and adjectives in Arabic, along with another group of letters. If you like the lessons, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tell your friends who like to learn Arabic about this course, and don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications for the next lesson. Thank you very much for your messages, comments, and feedback. I wish you the best in learning Arabic. God bless you and fi amanillah.